Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my #1 Sentai Gozyuger episode commentary and reviews. This time it's episode 21, Burning Festival Spirit, TegaSword Summer. Let's get into the episode. The episode opens where it left off last time, as Herrera and Kamade transform and go to attack as Fire Candle uses his paint skill and unleashes a fiery attack on the pair, before saying he'll arrange a proper stage on which to take down Goju Wolf, before he retreats through a portal. As the three power down, Samino sees a cloaked figure approaching her unconscious sister, and as she notices his grey eyes, the man throws a smoke grenade, and as it clears, both the man and Otto are gone, and Samino's anguished cry leads us into the opening credits. Back in the No.1 world, Fire Candle is celebrating his new ring, saying this is where his new invincible legend begins, as Bouquet says things just didn't feel right unless he's being obnoxious, as Mrs. Sweetcake compliments his energy, as Fire Candle says he has the perfect No.1 to hype up his showdown with Goju Wolf. Days later, over in the cafe, Ryuji, Kinjiro and Herrero are discussing Samino, who hasn't been seen or heard from since the incident with her sister, as Kamade tells them that Briden's been able to engage is news to him. And as Ryuji says Lord TegaSword will soon deal with it, Kamade tells them that the ring chose Fire Candle and there's nothing TegaSword can do about it until someone takes the ring. Outside, Rikuo is trying to call someone with no success, as inside the landlady and her son turn up with a flyer for a festival that they show to Herrera, before he and the kids start making faces, as Kinjiro decides the festival is the perfect way to cheer up Samino. On the day of the festival, the four Gozyugers turn up, as Kinjiro says Samino hasn't replied to his invite, as they're approached by a bunch of people running in fear, who tell them the festival has been taken over, and as they look, they see No.1 World's Festival #1, challenging them to put on a better festival, as Kinjiro steps forward, accepting the challenge. Comparing festivals to parties, Kinjiro prepares candied fruits, light bulb drinks and candy floss, but he's completely ignored by the passers-by. Rikuo has a takoyaki stall, which, when he asks a woman if she wants some and compares her to the spirit of mayonnaise, it doesn't go well, as Kinjiro asks how he failed, before Kamade says he will join as well, but his honey and caviar covered bananas really do not go down well at all. As Kinjiro complains nobody will buy that, everyone starts rushing to the No.1 stand, where Mr. Shining Knife and Mrs. Sweetcake are running a yakisoba and cake stall, quickly being surrounded by customers. Rikuo is walking off depressed when he's noticed by Bouquet, who's been handing out leaflets. When she approaches him, and after asking if he has come to the festival, she gathers her courage and asks if he would go around the festival with her, but he refuses, saying he wouldn't be able to make her happy today. As he turns to leave, Bouquet drops to her knees and leaves via a portal, before Rikuo looks at the people crowding the No.1 stand and flashes back to a time people were cheering for a younger him after he'd been singing to a crowd, before he chases after a man in sunglasses called Ray, who says he doesn't know what people see in Rikuo, before giving him a bag and walking away. In her office, Samino is researching the grey-eyed man when her phone starts going off and she gets Kinjiro's message about the festival. Back at the No.1 stall, it starts to become obvious that the Yakitori's cake stand is actually addictive, ensuring victory as people can't help but return for more, as Ryuji appears surrounded by the ousted stall owners as he starts a festival for the glory of Lord TegaSword, with games and chanting, as Herrero and Kamade go in to help run the games, quickly drawing people from the No.1 stall and freeing them from their addictions. As a depressed Samino turns up, asking Kinjiro if this is the festival he mentioned, but he apologises to her, saying things have gotten kind of weird, before Samino smiles, saying she'd never been to a festival this weird, and she quickly begins to enjoy herself. as Fire Candle arrives, berating the No1 monster as he demanded a festival to hype up his fight with Goju Wolf. As Festival No1 sends in the brigands, and the Gozyugers engage. As the Rangers fight the brigands, Kinjiro takes on the Festival No1, while Ryuji fights, while still playing the drums. Mr. Shining Knife and Mrs. Sweetcake fire forks at Goju Polar, while asking him to return the prince's ring to the queen, as he declines, and after using Bear Kuma to distract them, is able to fight up close before Fire Candle approaches Goju Wolf and transforms into Shinken Red. As the two fight, Unicorn joins in, demanding her sister's ring back, but as she's knocked down, she's protected from another attack by Leon, who says he's glad she's feeling better. As Eagle is able to finish off the Festival No1, who explodes like fireworks, but as we get winner Goju Eagle, Kinjiro stops it, and directs it to become winner Goju Tyranno. Continuing his fight with the three Gozyugers, Fire Candle uses Bouquet's Go-Go 5 ring to summon the Life Bird in Breaker mode, firing off a Calamity Breaker at the Rangers before summoning King Candler. But as he takes a seat inside, the ring starts to glow and a black-faced Shinkano rises from the ground, much to Kamade's surprise, to fight along King Candler against TegaSword Decaclaw. As Herrera and TegaSword struggle in the 2-on-1 fight, Goju Tyranno leads the crowd in a chanting prayer for the god, as Herrera tells TegaSword to answer their prayers, as the mecha turns into TegaSword and glows with a light that breaks the black mask on Shinkano's face, and it changes sides to fight against Fire Candle, using TegaSword as an actual sword. And as his mecha explodes around him, Fire Candle declares he needs more power, as he escapes and the two mechas strike victory poses. As the crowd bursts into cheers and Shinkano disappears. Back at the cafe, Herrera asks if Samina has found anything, but Samina says not yet, but she will keep trying, and she was cheered up by the festival, as she starts to dance and chant with Ryuji, and outside somewhere, Rikuo looks across the city, asking where's Rei, and the episode ends. Well, that was definitely a much better episode than episode 20. I don't know, that Gyo theme was just... I don't know, I don't think many people like that one. I've seen a lot of complaints across saying it wasn't that good of an episode. In fact, in all honesty, I've seen more dissatisfaction with the series since like the episode where we first saw Goodburn, when he was born in the bubble. Since then, I think people have sort of been trailing off, which is a surprise. I thought they would have like been more in for the rebirth when we first got Kamade, and then if they were going to fall away, sort of drop away from it. But no, it seems the birth of Goodburn is when people seem to have dropped off. But I don't know, I'm still enjoying it. Obviously, last episode was a dip, but this one's back to the fun, and I enjoyed this one more. We're now getting clues that everyone was saying, oh, Rikuo's the grey-eyed person because he, like, signed the pictures that the girls gave him when he was like, oh, that's from when I had grey eyes. And everyone's immediately going, oh, the grey-eyed person! You took, like, the girl. You took the sister, Otto. And now, maybe it's not. I mean, a lot of people were saying, Bouquet's the little sister. Bouquet's not the little sister. Rikuo's the grey-eyed man. Rikuo may not be the grey-eyed man. That could be another twist that we're getting, which this season seems to love its twists. One thing I gotta say, one thing I loved about this episode is the No.1 stall had a framework next to it, And I don't know how many people noticed it. Wait, I mean, it was kind of obvious, but I've taken a screenshot, which should be here when I edit it, assuming I remember to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to look an idiot pointing at my morpher. They had the masks of different Sentai teams. And I absolutely love that. I love that we had that. You know, it's just that nice little nod that, you know, you've got all those different masks. I think I saw uh Tyranno Ranger from Ranger. I think I saw Gal Shark from Gal Ranger. And a few others. I can't remember all of them because it takes me a while to write the scripts, which I'm doing it a different way instead of watching. But maybe I should script this bit. Although I like to try and keep this bit as like fresh and this is my thoughts having watched it. Yeah, Samino, I'm glad in some ways that she's not going to be in a funk for a while. But they've literally said, oh, it's been a few days and she's back to her normal self. Surely it'd take at least a couple of episodes. I mean, she saw her sister and then her sister's been kidnapped again. Although, at the same time, you could say that, you know, she should be happy because she knows her sister's still alive. But, I mean, where was this guy in the black robes that took her, like Otto? Where was he, like, during the whole thing? Or was he literally just hanging around waiting in case she lost her ring, fell unconscious, and he could kidnap her again? Interesting design for the smoke grenade. You know, looking like a little pipe thing. If anyone knows if that's a reference to any other sort of series or anything, because I don't recognise it myself, please let me know in the comments. You know, it could just be a generic, like, sort of smoke bomb, but it could be something that's a reference that I don't get. There's probably a lot of those. But yeah, I mean, we've had Shinkano turn up as well. So that is at least the second classic mecha, because obviously we've had Daijujin as well. I'd like to see more. I mean, obviously, as you can see from my collection behind me, I love like the mecha. You know, the Rangers are cool enough. I mean, as you can see, I've got a couple of well, I've got the Dew Rangers up there. I've got one Die Ranger. Obviously, they're the Power Rangers, but Sentai wise, load of Dew Rangers and then the Kiba Ranger. I've got Go-Go 5 Red down there, and I've also got Shinken Reds and O Ranger Blue or O Blue. Yeah, so I am more of a mecha fan. It's nice to see the Rangers turning up, which we're getting less and less the series goes on. You know, we started off with almost a different Red Ranger every single week. And then it's sort of like every other, and it's just sort of. And now most of them are sort of being beaten off screen. So we're getting the powers coming in because, oh, we've got the ring, and Gyudo, who didn't make an appearance this week, uses them as puppets like the pirate enemy from Gokaija did, and Stay Caesar from Zenkaija. But I don't know, is this a thing that's like being overused now? Because we get it so often now. But yeah, it's definitely more of a fun episode this week. I like the festival thing. You know, you always get some sort of festival thing in anime and stuff, and it's nice to see them in the traditional Japanese clothings, with the robes or yukatas or whatever they're called. Don't hate me, I'm terrible with names of stuff. I've been trying to learn Japanese for years, and best I can do is introduce myself, ask what something is, and count. That's about it. Um, Autistic brain. Communication skills are not my strong point, so trying to learn a language like Japanese is just it's an exercise in futility. But damn it, I love Japan. I love Japanese. One day I will go there, and I will go there with an empty suitcase because I'm going to be buying as much of this stuff as I can to bring back with me. So I need an empty suitcase. Um, just have enough, barely enough clothes to see me through. Go straight to, I don't know, Akihabara or something and just see how much old Sentai stuff I can get. And then maybe start on some Kamen Rider bits as well. Because Kamen Rider's pretty cool. But, yeah, not really that much to say about this episode. I mean, Fire Candle, I think, is a great character. Bouquet is kind of a little clueless that she doesn't recognize Rikuo as Goju Leon, but I thought someone would have told her. But yeah, it was at least an improvement on last week, and hopefully we can go up from here. We're in round 3 now. We had episodes 1 to 10, 11, or 1 to 9, 10 to 20, 19, and now 20, 21. We're in round 3, according to the Ranger Wiki. So, I guess Otto was the change, and we're just into this. Hopefully we see more about Rikuo's past, and everything else. If we do get Otto back, I hope we don't get more Gyaru stuff, because I don't think that went down very well with many people. Like I say, comments I've seen in different places. Nah, I think that episode was a miss. But yeah, this episode was definitely a hit for me, and yeah. Anyway, I've got a couple more classic episodes to deal with before I start the Die Ranger stuff. I'm writing scripts for Die Ranger at the moment, because if I can get all that done, I can then start on Kaka Ranger, and if I get Die Ranger done quickly, I can go on to Kaka Ranger even quicker, and then I can go on to more. Pace myself. Got to do this one first, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.